up? It's a Wee Natter. I'm Mark Steele, and across the table from me is...
Jenny Steele.
And we are joining you on the week that government announced it's planning to put you in jail for walking too slowly.
Oh, is that what they call jaywalking in America?
No, that's when you're crossing the road.
Is it?
Just crossing the road is illegal in some parts of the United States.
So how are you supposed to get to the other side then?
Well, you're allowed to use crossings. You're just not allowed to do it like, when the road's really quiet and you go, you know what, I'll cut across it. You're not allowed to do that. That gets you in trouble with the police.
Oh.
But yes, and I know we complained on this very podcast about people getting in the way in Asda. But British government, that's not what I meant. I didn't mean we'd go put them all in jail.
Well, so much so that we're now doing the shopping online.
Yeah, I thought it would be an experience to see cops descend on the supermarket aisle to take Doris away for spending too long for looking at peas.
Yes, yeah.
That'll take a bit of getting used to. But on a slightly lighter note, the postbag has arrived, and last time we asked you, what is the oldest thing you still regularly use? Matthew Summers getting in touch saying this, which was a wedding gift to my parents 42 years ago. I am totally aware, dear listener, that this is audio, and you can't see what this is. What do you think it is?
Describe it. I did see the picture.
Well, then, it is a decanter of some fine brown liquid. Which reminds me, I've got some whiskey in the cupboard if this week doesn't go too well.
Yeah.
But on that note, let's have a wee natter. If I was to ask you to name some great British institutions, what comes to mind?
Fish and chips.
Anything beyond fish and chips?
Cup of tea.
No, that wasn't quite what I was looking for. And I don't want to give too much away, but we do have a royal cake for the coronation next week. Yeah, and
we
you
do.
figure along that line.
Yeah.
But would pubs be on your list of great British institutions?
Not on my list, but I don't know about anybody else.
I would have thought it's.
I suppose
If you say pub, people think Britain. They don't think, you know what, that's a great American institution, do they?
No, I don't suppose. We're talking pubs, we're talking wine bars, we're talking restaurants with a bar in. What are we talking, Mark?
I will ask you, have you ever stepped foot in a proper locals only pub?
No, I haven't actually. But one of the guys I work with, he has stepped foot in a local here in this village that we've not been in, and he says it was very much a local pub.
Yeah, exactly. I've never been anywhere quieter or so staring into my soul in my life. It's weird. You can hear a pin drop the moment you step into, oh yeah, this isn't for me. You learn very quickly. But, ask most Brits, and I guess they all have their own local or favourite, won't they? I mean, do you have one?
Well, I quite like I can't even remember what it's called now. That one that we've been to a couple of times in the village.
The Royal Oak.
Royal Oak. I keep wanting to say Horse and Groom. I don't know why. Yeah, Royal Oak. I like that one.
Orson Groom sounds like a knockoff version of Orson Welles in my head. But the reason I ask is I found a question where I was perusing the internet, as you do, dear listener. You're going around on the internet when you're rather bored. And imagine you're now a publican. What do you call your pub? There is only one rule, and it is no animals or royalty, which means the Swan and Sweatless is out. But what would you call your pub?
Can I call it? Because I've always wanted to say this.
All right, go on.
Get out of my pub!
So on the front of the pub would be a sign that says, get out of my pub.
Yeah.
I don't even know how you'd spell that to make it sound correct, but get out of my pub. And what, an angry... I'm trying to remember what the character's name is, or even the actor.
It was Peggy Mitchell. Well, anybody that's had that pub, was it pat, 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 pat? Every landlady, it was always in that screechy way, get out of my pub! And I'd just look, you've made my day because I've been able to say that now. It'll be a bit of a take on it, wouldn't it? You wouldn't forget that pub sign, would you?
The get out of my pub.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Or the get out of my pub quiz. You go with it?
Yeah.
I see where you're coming from there, because, I was thinking daft names as well, and, things that come to mind for me are things like The Office or Work, and that's what you call the pub. So when somebody rings you up, you go, oh, yeah, sorry, I'm at work, I'll be a couple of hours.
Yeah.
You're not lying.
You're not, no, legit.
You're in a pub called Work.
Yeah.
And the same for The Office. Is genius, isn't it? Apparently, there's also, I'm not making this one up, a genuine pub called the Staggered Inn. Although you'd thought you'd call it the Staggered Out. Because if you're staggering in, you're not going to get served.
You'll be staggering out.
Well, you'll be staggering out again. You won't get served. So it's pointless. So I'm going to open this up to you, dear listener. What would you call your pub? You're allowed to name your pub almost anything. There is only one rule: no animals or royalty.
I can't wait for this one.
And we're trying not to make it libelous in the process as well. So get in touch on the socials at Solid Radio UK or at Solid Sooty, or on Spotify. You will see at the top of this episode, this very question has been asked of you. You tap on it, you stick your answer in, and we'll share your favourite drinking hole names in the next episode, just in time to miss the coronation.
Everywhere I go just lately, I don't know what it is that makes the noise, but you know when you're walking along a pavement and you hear the cars and they do that ooh noise on them. Do you know what I mean?
That ooh noise?
Yeah. It's like they're a valve inlet or whatever you call it. You know the cars make that ooh like that as they're stopping or starting or just driving along.
So you're not talking about somebody listening to Girls Ride on the way past, it's something kind of ooh. You're talking about it's off the back of the turbo. It's the dump valve.
Is that what it is?
And it lets all the gas
out. Noise.
You let your turbo spin up, and then you dump into out of gear, and the turbo can't keep running at that pace because it's got nowhere to stick the energy. So they have a little dump valve on the back that makes a noise when it pops out.
Have I got a dump valve on my car?
There will be a dump valve, but yours doesn't make a lot of noise because you got a turbo diesel or whatever it is. And this is all getting very technical,
isn't it? But I like the noise. So I've always been one for kind of souping up my car without paying money for it.
Hold on a minute. You've just
money.
talking about dump valves. You just reminded me of an apocryphal story I heard when I was quite a lot younger of where to get the best dump valves to make the best noise. And apparently it was nick it off of buses.
I'm not doing that. I'd like to make that clear now. I'm not doing that.
Well, the bigger challenge is finding a bus to nick it off nowadays. But I imagine that story wasn't true. But yes, anyway, you like the noise.
I like the noise. And in the past, I have been known to buy like the little LED stuff. You know, you can put your tax disc in, like a tax disc holder. It was metal and it had the little lights and I had a gear stick knob as well. But mine fell off because it was too hot in the summer. And I got done for not having any tax on my car. Even though it fell off tax face up, I did get into trouble. I got back to my car and I got a notice to say I've not got any tax on my car. Can you believe that?
No.
But what I was wanting to say is, if I wanted to go round what we call the circuit here in Nottingham, like I used to like to do that in town, you know, the cruise, because I haven't got that sound, keeping up with the youth, would it be all right with you? Because obviously you'd be in the car as well.
Like you get a choice.
If when I came to people that was obviously watching us on the track, could I wind the window down and go, ooh? Just so it sounds like I've got a dump valve as well.
I mean, I wouldn't stop you. I can't really stop you when you're on the driver's side leaning out the window. I mean, it's your choice. You're driving at that point. I mean, next up, you'll be heading into McDonald's to borrow their trays to do donuts with.
Oh, yeah.
That's a very old-fashioned technique, that one. And if we're talking about old-fashioned, if you had a little tippy-tappy there, dear listener, it's because I was looking up when tax discs stopped being a thing.
Yeah.
And I remember tax... I'm not going to admit to being young enough to not know what a tax disc is. Apparently it's been almost 10 years since tax discs were abolished. Yeah.
Well, I did go down to the police station and actually show my tax testers, look, I have got one, and it was about... I'd had it for about 4 months. It's not like I just nipped in the post office. So they did actually quash that ticket. But that was just a lesson, really. So I went out and brought a 20p little plastic thing and stuck it on and stuck my tax disc in.
Oh, I remember when you used to get them free with your AA membership or whatever.
Sweet.
Not that I had one. It's just the cars I used to buy were all second-hand and previous people had them. So they were already there and obviously got them free with their membership or whatever. But I'm guessing, on a positive, at least you didn't do a Del Boy and weren't sitting there with tax in post sticking in.
Or midwife on call.
Oh, that's a proper chance remove, that one. If I was to say seagulls, what comes to mind for you, dear listener, and you, Jenny, as well?
Trying to eat your chips and a seagull swooping down and nicking your chips.
They are quite ballsy, aren't they? I'll give them that. They're quite brazen. Vendetta is the word for me. Because it's always my car they tend to target on bombing runs.
Is it?
I don't know what it is. There's just something about my car. Every other car in the car park could be completely untouched. And my car will be absolutely coated. And I know it's seagull stuff because that's the only birds I can see around the area. So vendetta is the word that comes to mind when I think seagulls. And based on your thoughts there, thinking about chips and nicking them and the vendetta element for myself, we might not like this job that I found out about.
Go on then.
You've no idea what this job...
No.
Well,
Seagull feeder.
No. Blackpool Zoo are looking for somebody to dress up as a bird to scare seagulls away.
Really? What sort of bird?
I'm not too sure, actually.
What bird scares seagulls? Not sparrowhawk.
You're going to dress up as a giant sparrowhawk, run around flapping and hope to scare seagulls away. It does sound like it could be fun, and then you have to realise just how hard seagulls are. You know, I saw one of those birds of prey show in Dundee. I'm talking like decades ago now. So they've got this bird swooping around, ducking and diving, catching the food in the air. You know, the sort of thing when they've got birds of prey out and want to do a display. You know, the sort of thing I'm on about. They're always at fetes and things like that. Well, the local seagulls just chilling out, comes along, going, oi, what's going on here then? But in a more Dundonian accent with more seagullage in it. So you just have to imagine that, because I can't do Dundonian, I can't do seagull. But it starts picking a fight. And the seagull was winning against the bird of prey. So
Really?
anyone that takes this gig with Blackpool Zoo, they better be proper hard or able to run really fast dressed as a 10-foot tall pigeon. Whichever works out for you. So it turns out, dear listener, in some parts of Englandshire and Northern Ireland, why do I call it Northern Ireland? It's Northern Ireland. I keep wanting to shorten it because I've heard people do it trying to do awful accents.
Yes. No, you shouldn't do an awful accent. I love the Irish accent.
There's more than one Irish accent. Much like there's more than one English accent. But anyway,
yeah, there is.
In Englandshire and parts of Northern Ireland this week, next week, for Northern Ireland, there are local elections going on, aren't there?
They are.
What's the one big thing you need to remember to bring with you for the elections this time round?
Your ID.
Not just ID, it's photo
Your
ID.
photo ID.
So don't just bring your PAN card or your utility bill or anything like that. Unless your utility has a picture they print on every bill, which would just be weird and sort of creepy at the same time. Like, where did you get that photo from?
Yeah, do you know what's confusing me? Is the photo ID that students have is not valid, but the photo ID for, let's say, for example, a bus pass is valid. Why is that?
I'm not really allowed to get political. I can get political on here, but it'd be a bit unfair considering I'm standing for the other side at the moment. You know, the team that aren't in power at the moment, I'm standing for the... And I could give a very cynical answer about voter suppression and who they're targeting and things like that. Although I believe the official answer is something about one, they have to go through ID checks, and the other do it. It sounds a bit made up. Yeah. You can make your own mind up, dear listener. I'm not going to go down that path because this isn't a political podcast. This is... We touch into politics because it happens to be part of the world we're in podcast. You know, that's the focus on. And the only reason I bring this all up, it's not because I want you to vote for me, because I doubt you're in that tiny wee area. Which, if you are, you already know about because you've seen my face coming through your door several times, which in turn sounds creepy, but you get the
We know what you mean.
You know what I mean. The reason I ask and bring this all up was I was reading about a chap in India who applied for voter ID. What do you think he got in return?
Voter ID? I don't know.
He did get voter ID, but there was something really odd about it.
It was an ID of his dog.
You're spot on.
Really?
It had a picture of a dog on it. Now,
that's funny.
This guy sued, but it got me wondering, you know, if that happened to you or me and we, you know, going down to these local elections, but of course next to the boxes and whatnot, how would you handle it? You know, personally, I'd either dress up as a dog or borrow a very similar looking dog to take to the polling station.
Yeah, I would.
And go, oh no, it's not me, it's my dog that's voting.
Yeah.
I'm only here to help.
Was it a pedigree dog?
That's a very good question. I don't know.
I had a free gift pop through my door the other day.
Well, some people call it a utility bill, but free gift, if that's what you want to call it, yes.
And it's what we call a shampoo bar. Now, it was the only gift that was worth selecting, because the others was like, enter a competition for free. And I'm like, I never win, so I'm not going to waste my points.
We've got to go back to where you're getting this gift from. So this is some sort of loyalty scheme.
Can I say the name of the place or not?
No, well, you're in some sort of loyalty scheme for a retailer. They give you points, and at some point they go, right, okay, you've got all these points. Prize. Yeah, choose what you want to get from it.
Yeah, and there's normally one gift and the rest are all really good competitions, don't get me wrong, but I mean, come on, you're not going to win a competition, so you're wasting your points and you spend quite a lot of money to get these points. So I think to myself, I'll pick the product. And the product was a shampoo bar.
A shampoo bar?
A shampoo bar. It's like a bar of soap.
Shampoo comes in a bottle.
Well,
shampoo does not come on a stick.
It does. It comes in a bar now. And I'm thinking, how do we use it? So I've had to actually Google up how you use a shampoo bar. And I don't know if anybody else out there has actually used a shampoo bar.
Oh, but
you're supposed to lather it up in your hands. So wet your hands, lather it up like you're going to use a bar of soap. And then you basically put it onto your wet hair. And then kind of rub it in. And then it's supposed to have a really good lather.
Okay, so this is almost like the old Imperial Leather, whatever it is.
The one that had the sticker on that used to stay on for dear life, and at the end of about a couple of weeks the soap was gone but you still had that sticker.
Yes, that was the point I was going to. It's like, what on earth is it? That's like half the bar you can't use underneath the sticker.
Yeah.
Entire waste of money.
Until all you've got left is the sticker.
Yeah. So they've done that for your hair as well now.
They've done it for that. I've not tried it yet.
Did they put a sticker on it?
Oh, no, it's not got a sticker on.
Oh, they've done it wrong then.
They haven't they?
They've not screened you out. You're 30% or whatever it is you lose underneath the sticker.
I'm just quite looking forward to trying this shampoo bar, and I just wondered if anybody else had actually tried it. I might try it on you. I should have tried it on you, actually, first of all, just to see if I can get the lather right.
New improved shampoo bar. Tastes delicious.
But yeah, I always like to bring new things to this podcast, and I'm going to try this shampoo bar. I'm going to let everybody know what I think to it after.
And what it tastes of as well.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to taste it.
Almost had you there. There may be a sad day for school children coming soon, dear listener. Eugenie as well. It's going to be a very sad day. Assuming I'm not threatening anything US style, why do you think there's going to be a sad day for school children coming soon?
Because they haven't got a day off, either for half term or teachers' strike.
You've got a fair point there, but I was thinking more something to do with homework.
Well, they've got loads more to do.
If only. No, it turns out that everyone's homework, or the source of everyone's homework, Wikipedia, may end up being blocked as websites in the UK are required to verify age.
Ah.
Now, this isn't a new thing. I remember telling many websites I was born in 1900.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird when they send me a 120 odd year birthday greeting.
Yeah. It's a bot.
Yeah, they must know it's not real by putting 900 in it. But I did a Google image search and a picture of an old man ready to go if they ever needed confirmation. Just stick coming up. But this has got me wondering if encyclopedias are going to be blocked under this new thing that they're doing because they won't check ID, what else is on the list? That's the little puzzling question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that, dear listener, is how we announce the end of this very fine podcast. This is the very last episode of A Wee Natter, because we don't know how to do age verification.
No.
I don't know the difference between, fake ID that you use to get your white lightning when you're 12-year-old and want to drink it in the park versus legitimate stuff. I can't tell the difference.
I can't tell.
I'm not good enough, so we'll have to close the podcast down.
No, I don't think we should do that.
Yeah, I'm only kidding.
Oh, thank goodness.
No, I am looking forward to kids discovering ChatGPT. You know what ChatGPT is? It's this wonderful AI where you can stick a prompt in and it gives you a whole bunch of text back.
Ah, right.
So I'm looking forward to kids discovering that can write their homework. Though I do wonder if teachers will cotton on after 15 essays mentioning the AI uprising in 2035 when the topic was the Battle of Trafalgar.
Yeah.
I think they might cotton on at that point. That was, unfortunately, Wee Natter. I was Mark Steele. Chris, table for me.
Jenny Steele, but I always like to stop you just as we're about to finish.
Dun, dun,
I just want to give a word of warning.
Yes.
Cooking chocolate.
Yep.
Don't eat it.
Did you learn the hard way?
Word of warning is a laxative. I think I lost about 5 stone the other day.
Oh, charming. We didn't want that image. Thanks for that. And on that note, if you want to enjoy more of Wee Natter, and you haven't done so already,
why wouldn't you?
Hit the subscribe button. You can learn all about the laxative natures of cooking chocolate. Whatever your podcast happens to be, hit the subscribe button. When you're out and about, we're going to ask you to do one little thing. When you come across your roller disco instructor, you go, by the way, you heard a Wee Natter podcast? No? Check it out on your podcatcher. Spread the word. Spread the love wherever you can.
Yeah.
And on that note, I think we'll catch you next time.
Bye.